welcome everybody. I guess I'm live. It looks like it. Alright, we're doing any percent with DLC. Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, Darkest Dungeon is also the first game I started to speedrun last year, basically. And yeah, it's come a long way since then. Time is gonna start when I click here. So I guess without further ado, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Alright, so if you don't know Darkest Dungeon, it's a side-scrolling RPG roguelike, which has a lot of interesting, unique mechanics and a very great narrator. Wow, this fight is actually going poorly. So we're here on the old road, which is like the first introduction mission, which teaches us the basics of combat and how everything usually is set up. So yeah, the any percent category involves us actually finishing the game. Yeah, we are using a bunch of small tricks and glitches to go much faster than you usually would. Yeah, so I'm really excited. Oh, nice crit there. Let's go for the grape shot. Almost. So yeah, what we will be essentially doing is we will level up some characters to approximately level 3 and then go to the farmstead, which is an area provided by the Colors of Madness DLC. And what's unique about that is that with Colors of Madness, the devs introduced Shard mercenaries, which are which are basically mercenaries you can hire for free, and which are usually only supposed to go to the farmstead, which is the Colors of Madness area. But since we are able to take every hero basically to every mission we want, we can abuse this to bring them to the actual Darkest Dungeons.
The cost of preparedness,
So,
now in gold,
yeah,
in blood.
That's the basic idea of this run. And yeah, we hope to get good luck along the way, as it is always the case with Darkest Dungeon, since this is a very high RNG game. And since my incentive has been met, we will also be doing the final 4 Darkest Dungeons torchless, or basically the whole run torchless. But except the Darkest Dungeons, usually the whole run is torchless anyway.
Reassemble. Evil is timeless after all.
Alright, what I'm actually doing right now is I'm basically re-rolling the stagecoach, since we want some very specific hero combinations for the first part of the run. And what you can do is send a guy to the Darkest Dungeon and retreat immediately. That will advance the weeks in the hamlet, and will also trigger all kinds of stress relief activities, as well as giving us new heroes in the stagecoach. So even though it's a little bit boring, I hope we quickly get what we actually want here, and so we can continue. So we're looking for, in the best case, for 3 highwaymen, because we will be doing the Miller, which is the first boss in the farmstead. And highwaymen are notorious for having a skill that's called Duelist's Advance, which will give them a buff that's called Riposte, which will let them counterattack on an enemy when they get attacked. And since the Miller has like a very nice AoE attack that hits the whole party, we're banking on that we basically have 3 times Riposte set up to hit him hard, essentially.
Once again, the stars are right.
So yeah,
And the manor sits at the very
this would usually be a good time to read donations. But yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the game in general. So one mechanic that's very unique to Darkest Dungeon is the stress mechanic. You can see, well, not right now, but you will see later on, every hero has a health bar, or you can see it here, a health bar in red beneath his feet, and a stress bar, which are like the little white boxes beneath them. Still no highwayman. Oh, by the way. That's okay. So the stress meter goes up to 200, and when a hero first reaches 100 stress, they will have their resolve checked, which means there will be a roll, a dice roll, and they either go afflicted or they become virtuous. Becoming afflicted is 3 times more likely to happen than going virtuous. And yeah, there are multiple afflictions which have different negative consequences. There's like abusive and masochistic and irrational and a bunch of other. Nice. Not getting good people RNG here. And for the virtues, they are usually pretty good. There's, for example, powerful or courageous, which gives a bunch of buffs to the hero in question. And since we are actually able to reroll the resolve check when it happens, so when we get a bad outcome, we can reroll it. So we basically can guarantee, at the cost of some time, that we actually get the hero virtues. But in a casual playthrough, oh nice, finally a highwayman. I guess we can just go with... okay, let's do one more reroll, and if we don't get a third highwayman, I'll stick to the Hellion.
Once again, the stars are right.
So yeah, but in a casual playthrough, you will usually end up with afflicted heroes, and they start doing funny things like attacking their party members, passing their turns, marking themselves or debuffing themselves. So yeah, it usually starts to... and as well, they are stressing out their other party members. So it's usually a pretty bad thing to happen, especially like early on in a mission. Okay, well, let's go with the Hellion instead. It's fine. There we go. Do this. Right. One key. Okay, we're heading into Ruins 1, which is still like the second tutorial mission. Snuff out the torch, and there we go. So this mission is always set up exactly the same way. You will always meet exactly the same enemies in the exact same spots. So yeah, this is a proper introduction, I guess. So we're immediately surprised, which shuffled our party layout around. which is a shame, but it happens. And it's actually much more likely to happen while in pitch black dark. But why we are going torchless is not only because my incentive has been met, but the lower the torchlight is, the more loot you get. So we're usually doing this to get more loot. But yeah, the enemies get more accuracy, more damage, so that's usually the trade-off.
Executed with impunity.
I try to hit the back row. Oh, well, I guess Grape should at least hit. Nice. I'll take the crit. There we go. So also worth noting for Ruins 1 is that it is a scouting mission. What that means is, you can see in the top left, we have to explore 90% of all rooms. And we know that like in the last room over here is also a fight. And normally you can just skip this fight by retreating out of it, and it will still count towards the exploration of 90% of the rooms. So that's usually the fastest way to do this mission, to skip the last battle. We will not do this here since we want the loot, because we will need some upgrades for heroes to do the Miller. But yeah, that's a small detail. Alright, 2 more corridors. There will be a food check right ahead.
Waiting to be spent.
And here is a food check. There we go. So yeah, food is also like, the food mechanic is also a thing where you will encounter random food checks, and if you don't have any food left for these, your characters will suffer stress and health damage. So it's usually wise to keep some food around at least, to counteract those. Alright. Nice crit, thank you.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Yeah. Kill this guy first. Or at least try to. Please don't kill my Vestal. Okay. Oh, nobody died. Chain.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Alright, we're almost done here. There we go.
As
We're
victories
picking
mount,
up this chest
so
as well.
too will resistance.
Nice. And we're out of here. Okay, well, nice, nobody got a bad quirk. So yeah,
Once
heroes
our state was the
will
envy
get
of this land.
quirks and can get diseases as well.
Make
Just
no
checking.
mistake,
Okay, no
we
harm
will
in.
face ever greater threats. Our soldiers must be ready.
So yeah, bad quirks are, who would have guessed it, usually pretty bad. But there are also positive ones, which are usually good. But yeah, you can purge negative ones and keep positive ones. So let's make sure they all got the right abilities here. There we go. So we can continue. Alright, let's
The bellows blast once
have
again.
the blacksmith
The
upgraded
forge
as
stands
well.
ready to make weapons of war.
Oh, we don't have money, I guess. was upgraded. And where do we go? To the Warrens? Not to the field, probably. There we go. That RNG, yeah, I agree.
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping
all right, that's
life
not
from these groves.
too bad.
Let us burn out this evil.
Okay, just some maggots. They're usually not that bad.
Be gone, fiend.
Okay, so basically, oh nice miss. What I'm trying to do now is get my guys up to level 2 or 3,
A steadfast
while
support,
also
is it merely a drink of the light?
Upgrading them so we can take on the miller in the farmstead. Oh. At least there is a room battle here, so we didn't go here for nothing. Since we don't really care too much about stress,
Executed with impunity.
I'm usually ignoring the stress damage units first. Oh, actually something interesting.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy
Let's
them.
try and stun her. Yes. Yeah, she would have gone first. Nice.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Okay, so this wasn't the only room battle here, I guess. Party back in the right order. You know, betting 10 bits that I will fail. We will see about that. So yeah, usually I would not be picking up all the curios, but for the 80% run, since we want as much loot as possible, I usually do.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to
Alright.
the brave and
2
the
more battles
foolhardy
ahead.
alike.
We can see.
Another abomination.
Yeah.
Cleansed from our life.
That's why I set the estimate to 330, because I thought when my incentive is being met, I should be fine with like an hour plus. Gonna actually kill the backlines first here,
As the enemy crumbles.
because they can mark our heroes and then the front line will do much more damage.
Give them no quarter.
Now these guys are more or less harmless. Try and stun him. Nice.
The darkness holds much worse than mere trickery and boogeymen.
Let's
Compassion is a rarity.
finish this guy off.
Their formation is broken.
Are we done yet?
Maintain the offensive.
Yeah, we are. Nice. So that was actually not a bad
Be driven
wheel mission. Stress Eater and Soft. Okay, 2 bad quirks that are
I can still see their angry faces as they stormed the
actually
manor.
bad.
But I was
guess we'll
dead
keep
before
this
they found
one.
me. And the letter was on its way.
Let's get the armor upgrades as well going. Everybody got what he needs. Oh, actually. Okay. So since the wheel now is a medium mission, which we don't really want. Oh, no torches, sorry. We're going to the Warrens instead. real question is if there's gonna be warp threats in DD3. Oh, probably not. We will see how confident I am. Nice.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Let's try and kill this as well.
Obliterated.
Nice. There we go.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Oh, we got a torch. But we will not use it. Maybe if we find the Chandler's altar, we might come around using it. Oh, there's the first resolve check happening.
With a singular purpose.
Let's see. Okay, so she got afflicted, so we will just re-roll that. Yeah, I apologize for the squealing pig noises in the back.
They breed quickly
In the background.
down there in the dark.
They are just part
We can slay
of
them
the
faster.
ambient sounds when you're going torchless in the warrens. Alright, another room battle at least. That's good. Let's stun him. At least try to.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Okay, so we're actually now having 2 resolve checks coming up. So we might re-roll this a little bit. All part of the experience, exactly.
They breed quickly down there in the dark.
So yeah, what essentially is happening here is that the resolve check roll is determined like at the exact time of the turn when the resolve check is happening. So that's why we are able to
They breed
re-roll the whole thing, because like everything else, or like most of the variables. Oh, there we go. Actually got a virtue. Powerful, sweet. So yeah, usually like most of the double virtue, easy, nice. Okay, so usually like most variables that the game uses to determine if a character hits and crits or misses or whatever are set at the beginning of the character's turn. But since resolve checks are happening on the fly, they are rolled when they occur, so we basically abuse this to re-roll and basically guarantee a virtue. All planned, yeah, exactly. It's all part of the plan.
press disadvantage.
I guess if the Vestal would have gone afflicted, I would probably just let her be afflicted. But since she got virtues as well, that's pretty nice. So we don't have to deal with de-stressing her after the mission. It's fun when it takes 20 minutes to get virtues, yeah. Brigands. But at least surprised. Stun him. Oh, shame.
Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts of men.
Wow. Low damage rolls.
Obliterated.
But at least nice dodges, I guess. Sweet. Let's
As
go.
the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Nice. Ooh. Oh, it's
Be
so
wary.
the one.
Triumph infant pride precipitates dizzying
so much loot. I guess we toss this, this. Oh, we actually got a holy water. And we got a scout. Okay, so we know there's at least one more battle ahead. Aw, shame I tossed the torches. We could have taken on a Shambler right there. I mean, maybe we find another torch. Let's make sure a riposte is set up. Nice that they all attack this guy who already has riposte set up. Okay. Nice. Nice crits.
continually onslaught. Destroy them all.
Oh, wow. Whatever.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Give me a torch. Oh, shame. Alright, we're done. This one.
Driven into the mud.
And we got a Hellion trinket as well.
Their squeals
Tame
fade.
that. Okay.
Their confidence is shaken.
Okay, so no really super bad quirks here.
Insipid and incurable.
She can take that. We sell these. We keep this just in case. I actually don't really care too much. Should we go to the farmstead? I guess we do one more and then do the farmstead. Oh, no torches.
They breed quickly down there in the dark.
Snuff the
But
torch.
perhaps we can slay them even faster.
Oh, alright, into a trap.
Curious is the trap maker's art. His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Maggots and the spider, and we are surprised. Interesting. Let's try and stun the spider.
Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts of men.
Nice. Oh,
Back to the pit.
sweet.
Seize this
Nice and
momentum.
easy.
Push on to the task's end.
So, what usually is a problem, or like a problem, but like a small disadvantage compared to the normal any percent run is that we will usually not get
Another abomination.
the trinkets that we actually want to have. But since we will be using level 6 heroes anyway, which are fully upgraded,
Be gone, fiend.
that usually makes up for the fact that we normally don't really have the trinkets we want. But yeah, if I... Oh, nice. MQ system. But if we can get some
Will resistance.
that are nice, then we will actually be using them. Alright, that's a cool one as well.
Trinkets and baubles.
It's a trap.
Paid for in blood.
Nice surprises. One off. I guess the Vestal cannot finish him off. Okay, I'd rather kill the carrion leaders first, since they can do a lot of damage. Yeah, right there.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Yeah, he dies anyway. Go.
The darkness holds much
Not
worse
anticipate the vessel going before the island.
These
We're
nightmarish
still not
creatures can be
done.
felt. They can be beaten.
Oh, we got a torch, so we can actually remove that corpse. Stressing, nice. And we got surprised, interesting. Ouch.
Death waits
Yeah.
for the slightest lapse in concentration.
No need.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Okay, let's actually heal with
Compassion is the rarity
bronze.
in the fevered pitch of battle.
Nah. Shame. Oh, at least this guy should kill himself, yeah.
Give them no quarter.
There we go.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Right. And we got surprised. I guess we will still set up a post since the Helen can set out to the front as well. Dodges. New fronts than this guy.
Arrows may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Show up highwayman. Alright. So after this mission we will be doing the actual first farmstead mission, which introduces a wave-based mechanic to the game that's only found there. So essentially a kind of a horde mode, I guess. Where you usually like go as long as possible.
Pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Okay, we're done. Nice.
Their squeals fade. Their confidence is shaken.
The fits. Okay, so one hero actually got a disease here, which we will purge now, because yeah, it lowers his accuracy and his crit, and we don't really want that for obvious reasons. Probably try and go for the
In the end,
weapons.
every plan relies upon a strong arm and tempered steel.
Do we also? Yeah, we want to remove soft as well. So we will do again one scaredy cat here
Again, the stars are
to
bright, and the
get
man
our
who
heroes
is the
purged
very
and
epicenter of
ready again.
cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols,
And then we'll head
great
into the farmstead.
gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
All right.
We fall so that we may learn to pick ourselves up once again. In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Okay. Ready to go. I guess we take some anti-venom, bandages, some herbs. We're good.
Blight had struck the harvest again that year, and the miller was desperate.
I'll just let you listen
He
to
came
this
to me,
beautiful
hand clutched
dialogue.
tightly in filthy fingers, stinking of sweat and manure. Seated comfortably in my observatory, surrounded by telescopes and other delicate apparatus. I recognized his misfortune as an opportunity, and I agreed to lend him my expertise.
The poor miller. The only real victim in the story. Alright, so as you can see, to the top right there is a bar that will slowly fill up as we are killing enemies. And when it reaches the threshold at the right, we are done here. And in subsequent missions, usually this bar is segmented into 3 segments, and between each segment you have like a small gap where there's a pause where you can use food or other stuff on your heroes, but you will only sometimes be able to camp, which is a shame, but I mean that's the way it is. Also, you might have already recognized that I don't have any torches and like the ability to influence the torchlight, because in the farmstead the torchlight will always be considered a full light, and you cannot change this. So.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
So we are still technically going torchless. Sure. Hellion, please. Nice. Good.
Disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
So yeah, the first farmstead mission is pretty easy. But the miller mission will be a little bit more difficult. Since we will actually encounter the full spectrum of the farmstead. You can also see in the top, I'll show you again in a second, that the light in the farmstead has different effects on the party. Like in this case, we get more stress and less healing received. But and in this mission, we don't see anything else than like the farmstead's miasma light. But in the upcoming mission, the light will actually change and shift around, and there are different kinds of light. There's actually like one that really benefits us, one color, and the other 3 ones are usually pretty bad for us. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. We will take whatever the game throws at us. Yeah, the stars are not right. I agree, Reynolds. Dismas. The stars are not right.
Eradicated.
Let's try and kill the horse. Oh, 1 off, really? Okay, at least it kills itself.
Size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. Another abomination cleansed from
So yeah, you might have already seen that usually enemies leave corpses, and they do as well in the farmstead, but in the farmstead they will also, the corpses will transfer over, or like morph into these crystals, and if you don't kill the crystals they will explode and deal a bunch of damage and stress damage to the party, so that's why we try and get rid of them as well. Immediately. Nice, the horse didn't stealth. I approve of that. There we go. Okay, let's try and actually kill the horse. Okay, that's all good.
monster's size has
Kill
no
the horse.
intrinsic merit.
Wow.
Unless
Okay, so we can now actually see
sanguination be
one of the
considered a
crystals
virtue.
explode. Yeah. It deals a lot of damage. Alright, so this should be... well, almost the last wave, I think. Shame.
The
Nice.
ground quakes.
Yeah, you heal yourself. Yeah, we are done. Nice.
Foolish horrors. Brought low
Okay, so this was basically just the introduction to the farmstead. Got a bunch of diseases. Sweet. That we will actually
There is
purge.
indeed no better place for those in search of rarities than forgotten
I mean,
lore.
to be fair, they are not too severe. So we could just not care. Should be good. Yeah, activating a torch in the farmstead does nothing because you usually don't get any torches. And you cannot bring them yourself, so... But yeah, in the courtyard, in the Crimson Court, they will provide the party with a buff. Okay, so we can see 2 rule battles already here, which is fine. Since we actually wanted loot still.
And now, the darkness
Nice.
holds dominion. Black as death.
Wow.
Death waits.
Okay, we'll probably just try and kill this guy here first.
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
One off. Oh, shame.
As the fiend falls,
So yeah, as you can see, like, battles become easier and easier
as
now,
victories mount,
since our
too
guys
will
level up
resistance.
and get upgrades.
a fortune waiting to be spent.
So yeah, we should be good to do the miller in probably like 1 to 2 missions from now. Let's see, I'll probably do
Wealth beyond
the Swine
measure,
Prince for the sake of getting a trinket and
already alike.
leveling up our heroes as well. And we got a map. Better than a trap indeed.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
So wow, I didn't scout this room. That's actually a shame. This guy. Nice.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows.
He should kill himself. Yeah.
A glint of gold.
How much we need? Resource-wise, I'm going for. Well, I'll try to go for at least one more upgrade, either the armor upgrade or abilities.
Confidence surges as the
So
enemy
we're not that far away from being done with the leveling.
seize this momentum. Push on.
Oh yeah,
to
and
the tasks
level-wise, probably just level 3, since the Miller mission is actually a veteran mission, which is level 3 or 4. So it should make things a little bit easier,
back to the pit.
not going in at level 2 or level 1.
Another
Alright, one
abomination
spider still
cleansed
alive.
from our lands.
Fine. no.
Another one falls. This expedition at least promises success.
Okay. At least we now know we have to go here. Since... Oh! Nice Shambler time. Okay, so this guy is very notorious. Notoriously known in casual play to absolutely wreck unprepared parties. But since we actually anticipated him showing up, and we know what we're doing, this should be pretty nice. Since he's dropping really good trinkets, and we usually want to get at least one of them if we can. Oh, shame. I guess we're done here. No, we don't. Alright, we will still try and kill the tentacles, because they are actually like the scary part in this fight, not the Shambler itself, you know?
Executed with impunity.
Every day we Shambler, yeah. Just heal.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
So we actually want to renew our riposte.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy.
Always make sure to kill the tentacles. Yeah, get riposted on. Okay, so one more turn. Should be fine.
A dizzying blow to
Oh,
body and
there's a
brain.
resolve check. Nice, easy. No need to reroll, I guess. Oh, another resolve check, right? Oh, not quite. Okay. Bring yourself.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
One off. See if the Hellion can finish him off. Okay, but he should kill himself now on the riposte.
It could be dismissed as a fever dream. If not for the corpses.
Oh, the crits are real. Now we have a resolve check. Oh, easy focused as well. I'm getting really lucky here. And we got... Nice, we got the best nice score.
Creatures can be felt.
Sweet. That's actually pretty good.
Curious is the trap maker's art. His efficacy
So that was definitely worth taking the fight.
Such
Sweet.
blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest
Easy,
settlers.
exactly. Okay, one last fight here. Soften them up for the Hellion to maybe kill them all, or like two of them. That's the idea. Yeah, let's go. Nice.
Decisive pummeling.
Let's stop this guy. Okay, he goes first.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place.
Goodbye, Mr. Swine.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Sure. So that was
Experiments should have never
pretty good.
happened. You are doing just work ending them.
Okay, we got another quirk we should probably purge.
Perhaps things are not as bad as they seem.
Okay, let's get rid of this. This. Keep those. Probably put this in the Hellion. And we got the Shocker. Shocker. Actually. Okay, so we don't really want. I mean, actually, actually, we could go for this, since we will be doing the darkest dungeon on torchless. But I guess it's probably just a safer bet to get rid of bad stuff and try and get a focus ring. Yeah, we don't really have enough for another upgrade, but almost.
Once again, the stars are right, and the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic
Hey, Cat of
unrest.
Ulfa. How's it going?
Cultists rally to their twisted idols.
Yeah, hairpin would
and
actually
great
be
gongs
pretty nice,
sound
I
in
guess.
anticipation of the coming sacrifices.
But minus 10
below,
bleed resist
life-laden
feels bad, man.
shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart. Failure tests the metal of heart, brain, and body. The degeneracy of the hamlet is nothing when compared to the
I guess
condition
we
of surrounding acres.
Just because we can. She still has light sensitive. That's not at all relevant.
Once again, the stars
I will try
are
probably
right,
like 2 or 3
and
more
the manor
times to
sits at
maybe
the
roll
very
like a good
epicenter
trinket
of
we actually
cosmic
need
unrest.
for the swine prince.
Cultists rally to their
But then just
twisted
do that.
idols, and great gongs
And
sound
after
in
that,
anticipation
go
of
for
the coming
another.
sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart. Where there is no peril in the task.
Also, I think I will probably
there can
go
be
for
no
the
glory in its
guild level
accomplishment.
3 upgrade,
To the resourceful thief,
which
burials are
needs
merely
1538.
ephemeral affairs.
So we still need. Oh, there's the Vestal Scroll. I guess. Too much healing never is wrong. Okay, so a trick that's coming up right here is the so-called Scaredy Warp, which means usually you cannot bring higher level heroes to lower level missions,
Difficult to master.
or you cannot bring
Those from beyond require
heroes
physical
to the darkest dungeon
discipline
again if they
crossing
already
into our
finished the
reality.
mission there.
The timing of the
But with
chance
this small
is
glitch,
imperative.
we are actually
Without
able
the
to do
proper
that.
utterances at precise
So
intervals,
usually our
the
level
process
3
can
highwayman
fail
would not be
spectacularly.
able to go in this apprentice mission.
A nameless
But here he is.
abomination. A testament to my failures.
We got no
It
scout,
must
which
be
is a shame,
destroyed.
but not too bad here. So we have to go. The bosses in this game are always in the room furthest away from the initial entrance room. So in this case, that's in the top right. That's where we're heading. Oh, we got a map as well. Yeah, I guess we go this way. Even though it has 3 fights, we still need some loot, so not too bad. But we 60 chests, yeah, exactly. It's basically how it works.
A decisive pummeling.
Nice.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
No big problems here. Shoot this up. In the back.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Actually nice to get like a map of the whole dungeon. That's not too common. Yeah, Vestal Scroll is the safer option, yeah, that's what I thought as well. Since her healing will be really good with 2 actually good trinkets. Wow, nice misses.
Executed with
With
impunity.
this, and hopefully Yeah, Monka is. Here comes the damage. Okay, we dodged. Oh, good.
Another one.
Goodbye, spiders.
Seize this momentum.
We don't
Push on
can.
to the task's end. Destroyed.
I guess we will.
Annihilated.
At least I didn't crit.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
There we go. Oh, at least some more water.
Wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
On to the swine prince.
It is a travesty. A blundering mountain.
Okay, so the way this boss works is he has this little guy in the back who will mark one to two members of our party each round, and he will usually attack them then. The problem is we cannot kill the small guy in the back first, because then the swine prince will actually enrage and deal a lot of damage. So we're basically forced to just kill him off and then deal with the small one. And the small one is called Wilbur, and he's notoriously known for killing low health heroes.
Exposed to a killing blow.
And again. So there's actually a subreddit dedicated to him. We got to heal him. Nice. Nobody on that store. Oh, come on. Can't you choose someone else? But we should be good here. Probably, maybe. Wow, one off, really? Wow.
Quickly the tide
Okay, so this is interesting. They could die now to Wilbur. We have seen it happen. Nice. Everybody resisted. We're good. Okay, it's all good. Easy. There we go.
continue the onslaught.
Ooh,
Destroy.
we got a sun cloak as well. Nice. Okay, we made it out alive. Worries. Okay.
There is a great horror beneath the manor.
This needs
A
to be
crawling
purged.
chaos that must be destroyed.
Probably almost had enough, right? Oh no, we actually have enough. There we go. Nice.
Every creature has a weakness.
So we
The
actually
wise hero trains for
upgrades
what
as
he
well.
will face.
She can take her scroll. I guess Dismas. Keep this for later. Okay, so we scare the cat once now, and then we're going to the miller. There is nothing worth purging. But yeah, that worked out pretty well.
Once again, the stars are right. And the manor sits at the
This was all part of the plan, obviously.
rest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
Wounds to be tended, lessons to be learned. In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Upgrades. Good. Oh. Sure. I guess should be fine.
Slabs etched with certain celestial designs were erected around the perimeter of the farmstead. The miller, lamentably eager for some early sign of improvement, fixed his watery eyes intently upon the wilted fields and listless mill. My gaze, however, was cast skyward, and I marveled at the limitless profanity of the stars, wondering what harvest might come.
All right, there we go. Okay, so as you can see now, the bar now is segmented into 3 segments, and we're actually on veteran difficulty and not apprentice anymore. So enemies will be notably harder usually. But yeah, the first and third part of this mission are usually not bad. But the middle part is the interesting one, where the light will change, and yeah, we get a mixture of enemies. Wow. That will come at us from all kind of areas of the game.
Another abomination.
Okay, I guess we'll let this probably explode. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I guess we do.
As the fiend falls,
Yeah,
a faint hope blossoms.
it's fine. Nothing happened. Okay, we usually want to make sure to kill the foreman as fast as possible. Since he's basically buffing all
The wounds
the
of
small
war
other
can
guys.
be healed, but never hidden.
Nice. Sweet riposte. Let's start working on him. Also, yeah, he has a very nasty bleed attack. We usually don't want to get hit by. The dabbing farmhands. Wow. So we will definitely run into one or more resolve checks in this mission for sure. Okay, he is dead, so we heal.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Stuff. Okay, these guys mainly just deal stress damage, so we can usually either ignore them or hopefully get rid of them pretty quickly.
Confidence
Just
surges as the enemy crumbles. Eradicated.
Nice. one off. Nah. Keep just healing with the Vestal. Oh.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Nice. No horse, no foreman. It's usually pretty good. To set up riposte again. Nice dodge.
Annihilated.
So yeah, as you can see, like the Scarecrow guy is in stealth, which is also a mechanic introduced with the Colors of Madness DLC initially. So there's some ways to attack stealth guys as well, but we don't actually have somebody in the team who can do that.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Wow. Okay, we go for the crystal here. Just in case.
Back to the pit.
Not getting screwed. Ah, they're somewhat getting close here. To a resolve check. Nice.
The ground quakes.
Just make sure this guy's dead. Yeah, we just heal. That's all. Okay, we should be done with this segment after this wave. Oh, there's the first result check right here. All refracted, we don't want that. Since it's technically an affliction, which has like one upside, which is the hero with refracted actually ignores stealth. And since we don't really care about stealth anyway, we actually want a virtue. Come on, game. Nope. So if you're wondering how I actually know before the animation plays if it's a virtue or an affliction, can see the color of the light changing to red if it's going to be an affliction, or to like golden if it's a virtue. So if you pay close attention, there we go, it's red. Now let's hope we don't have to roll too many times here. But that's basically true for every virtue rerolling. Hope you don't have to do it like for 10 minutes. There we go. Sweet.
A moment of clarity in the eye of the storm. Their formation is broken.
Let's get rid of some of them. Okay, we are done here in this for this wave. So, oh my god.
Continually
We should go, yeah.
destroy
The intermission. Okay, here we will always get some shards. We can eat food if we need. And let's try onwards. So this is the big one. Oh my god, we got actually lucky. So Splendorous, as you can see, actually has only positive effects for our party and negative effects for the enemies. So that's why it's definitely the preferred color of light to get you.
Gnawing uncertainty, the birthplace of dread.
Oh, the stun.
Executed with impunity.
We'll try and stun. Oh, there's the resolve check. Let's reroll that. 3.5 hours of purchase gaming later. Yeah. Something like that. That's it. Maybe we're actually able to skip the horror tick here. We'll see. Oh, there we go. Stalwart, nice.
Many
I'll
fall
take
in
that.
the face of chaos, but not this one. Not
The
today.
one-offs. One-offs are real. Sure,
The horror.
okay, so we definitely want to get rid of his horror, yeah. There we go. Let's start working on this school. Big distress. Ooh, the swine tower, okay. That could be a lot of damage.
Well struck.
Let's try and get rid of the ghoul. Nice. Maybe a crit from the Hellion. Ah, a miss. Ouch. More stun.
Their
Nice.
cursed champion
That's good.
falls.
Yeah, actually,
The ground quakes.
we're actually pretty lucky as well to get like swine folk here. We could have gotten cove enemies, which would be, or wheel enemies, which would have been pretty disgusting. But Warren's enemies are usually fine. Oh, we missed the riposte here. Let's try and get rid of him. Maybe we can stun this guy.
Decisive pummeling.
Nope. We cannot. Okay, so we'll... Let's see what he does use Pig Spear. Ouch.
Ears. Blurred vision.
Okay, that dealt a lot of damage. But it's fine. Let's try. We healed for sure. Set up your riposte. Okay, he's almost dead. That's not bad.
A victory.
Get rid of this guy.
Perhaps the turning point. Masterfully executed.
Nice.
Obliterated.
Actually, not leaving the corpse is good here.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands. Begone, fiend.
So, I don't know if it's enough when we kill her to be done with this segment, but even if not, should be very
Confidence
soon.
surges as the enemy crumbles.
Oh, wait, we are done. Nice. Okay, so this was actually a very smooth
From the comet's
segment.
maddening light. For now,
Okay, this is just a healing curio. And let's continue. So we have
rejoice at the
one more of
familiar
this,
sight of mud.
and after that is the Miller, finally. Let's try and get rid of this guy. I'll skip. I'm sure you will come back sometime. Also, you can, if you do any percent DLC, you are also doing the Miller as well. So 2 categories with 1 run. Seems good.
Decimated.
Let's actually get rid of your debuffs here.
Another
I should
one
have
falls.
set up the riposte. Well, it's okay. Sweet.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Horse. Okay, nice. No horse and no form. One off. Meh. Sure. You de-stress yourself anyways.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
This guy, so the Hellion can kill this guy, maybe? Or even that guy. Okay, he's dead next turn. Okay, cost. For sure. He keeps healing his, healing his own stress, which is nice. I approve that.
As the fiend falls,
He dies. A horse. Okay. Actually, the horses have been pretty nice as well this time around.
executed with impunity.
Because they usually have the ability to go into stealth and then attack the whole party out of stealth and shuffle them around. So I appreciate that no horse has done this in this one so far. Let's try and stun the horse. Not gonna happen. Meh. Yeah, there we go. Goes into stealth. It's fine.
Press disadvantage.
We can still hit it with AoE attacks, but not directly, without a proper trinket or buff. Oh, more stealth, nice. Sure.
Eradicated.
Okay, horsey, please trample. Don't jinx it. We move around. There we go. Goodbye, horse. Nice. That was actually good. Just do a group heal. Nice. Okay, we are actually done here now as well. So that went also better than expected overall. There we go. Nice. So if we're lucky, we can now get the chance to camp. Okay, we are not, but since we're
Sheltered corner of reality.
in pretty good shape, it's actually not too bad. All right. Let's go on to the middle.
Regained.
Okay, so we actually want to make sure the farmhand dies. Oh god. Because the miller will otherwise buff it. Oh yeah, of course. Let's make sure this guy dies. Got here, okay, Scarecrow, we can ignore. And this guy we can ignore as well, sweet. Let's work on the middle then.
A momentary abatement.
Alright. So we set up riposte again. And just hit the miller. There we go, there comes the looping. That's the AoE attack I was talking about before. Which is nice if we have like 3 guys riposting him right there. Because since he has already summoned 2 minions, he will usually use the reaping or his heal. So yeah, that's why we want as much riposte as we can. Just shoot him. Oh, shame the dodge. Let's do this. Just group heal. Oh, there comes the harvest. Okay, only for 15. That's fine. That's a shame, but it's okay. So you will probably summon one again. Okay, no, it does the AoE attack nice. Okay, so we need to kill the Hellion for sure. Nice dodge. Oh.
How quickly the tide turns.
Hellion on death's door. Oh, what am I doing? Such a high bleed resistance. Let's hope the Hellion doesn't die here. No. Good. No farmhand? No, farmhand, obviously. Okay, so we gotta kill this guy first again. Hopefully. Please. God damn it.
Compassion is a rarity in the fever drum battle.
The Winter's Breath.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Harvest again, sure. So 15 again. Yeah, because this guy now guards the miller, so let's kill him. ASAP.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
Consumes the mind. Wow, 2 off. Yeah. Okay. Heal here. Yeah.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
So we want to move the Hellion forward, for sure. It's coming up here. Another Scarecrow, interesting. So we can actually not move the Highwayman backwards with a point-blank shot. Okay, let's try... Oh, sweet.
The will to fight falters.
That's fine. Shoot him. Summons again. Nice. Okay. So we got a chance to heal again. Let's go. We may be able to finish him off this turn. Ouch. That's not nice. Please don't die. Oh, the harvest, of course. Alright, let's go. Okay, we're not going to finish him off this time. Yeah, and there goes one of the highwaymen. Interesting. It's okay. Oh my god, can you please not miss? Actually be great. Let's hope he doesn't use Harvest too often. Reaping, nice. Okay, another one. Another reaping, please. And kill yourself. That would be grand here. Come on. Nice. Come on, you die now. Sweet. Okay. That was a little bit too tense in the end, but it's all good. We made it. Whew, sweet. Since we're not going to use these heroes anyway anymore in this run, it actually doesn't matter that somebody died.
And we were rewarded with madness.
Stagecoach, let's check here. Okay. So we want these guys. Actually. And the good thing is we can re-roll the Shard Mercenary Stagecoach by just going into a normal mission and leaving again. So we don't have to go to the Darkest Dungeon and listen to all the dialogue.
Where there is no peril in the task, there can be no glory in its accomplishment. My obsession caused this great foulness, and it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
So we will just
I knew all these paths once.
go in and out of here
Twisted as my own
while
ambitions.
we're hoping to get the party we want.
We fall so that we may learn to pick ourselves up once
Wow,
again.
nothing. So yeah, we actually
Poor
want
caretaker. I fear his long-standing
again a
duties
Vestal, a Hellion, and 2 Highwaymen.
affected him.
But this time around they are then
I knew all
level
these
6
paths
with
once.
all upgrades.
Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions.
Instead,
You cannot learn a thing
much faster
you think
than
you
level
know.
them up. So
I was lord
nice,
of
she
this
doesn't
place
even have any bad
before the
quirks at all.
crows and rats made it their domain.
Okay, so we got 1 out of 4. Let's continue.
I knew all these paths once. Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions. I can still see their angry faces as they stormed the manor.
Nothing.
But I was dead before they found me. And the letter was on its way. I knew all these paths once. Now they're as twisted as my own ambitions.
Alright, please game.
You will
Give
endure
me
this loss.
something I need.
And learn from it.
Highwayman, calm.
All my life I could feel an insistent gnawing in the back of my mind. It was a yearning, a thirst for discovery that could be neither numbed nor sated.
Oh, wrong one. There we go. Okay, so 1 more Highwayman, 1 more, and 1 Vestal. And we're good to go.
I knew all these paths once. Now they're as twisted as my own ambitions.
The poor Plague Doctor. Well, you know. I mean, I guess we can switch over using Reynolds. Oh, there's a Vestal and a Highwayman. Wow.
And victory will
That
come.
doesn't... Okay, sure, shit.
In time, you
Okay,
will know
really?
the tragic extent of my failings.
That's actually a little bit bad, but we can get rid of them as well.
Elusive,
Okay, sweet, so we actually have our party.
persistent,
So we'll
righteous
just use
traits
Reynolds.
for a rogue.
So just need to scare the cat a couple of times here actually to purge 2 more negative quirks, and then
cosmic unrest.
we actually get to go.
Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs
Yeah,
sound
exactly.
in anticipation of
He's
the
not
coming
gonna
sacrifices.
get purged until we actually scare the cat.
Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating
So yeah,
heart.
2 more. That should be good.
Do not ruminate on this fleeting failure. The campaign is long, and victory,
Will come.
the plume, and the pistol.
So
A fitting end to my folly,
to get rid of
and a curse
scattering.
upon us all.
Also, oh no. Hello game, please. We actually want another dismiss, right?
Once again, the stars are right.
Yeah.
And the manner
Basically,
sits at the very
purging 2 more
epicenter
quirks,
of
and
cosmic
then we're going
unrest.
to the darkest dungeons already.
Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices.
And yes, torchless, of course.
Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
So the actual, I think like the most scary one will be DD3, torchless.
The metal of heart, brain, and
The
body.
second one can be scary as well, but
The poor caretaker.
usually we should be
I fear his
fine.
long-standing duties here have
Also,
affected
Lord
him.
Woods has to go. Also, quickly want to
trinkets
check
and
this one.
charms gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
Lance and Abomination. Okay, so we actually, sadly, we cannot get anything here that is remotely useful, which is a shame, but it's okay. We're not
Once
expecting
again,
to get
the
something.
stars are right,
Yeah, I know.
and the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices.
I might do like 1 or 2 more scaredy cats if we, to see if we can roll a good trinket on as a mission reward, since we're obviously still lacking trinkets, which isn't too bad, but if we can get like one we really want,
I can still
is
see their
definitely
angry
preferable.
faces as they stormed the manor.
Okay, we actually got the
But
best
I was
score
dead
already.
before they found me, and the letter was on its way.
Let's do 1 or 2 more.
Once again, the stars are right, and the manor
Maybe
sits
find
at
a
the
focus
very
ring.
epicenter of cosmic unrest.
But if not, it's okay.
Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart. We fall so that we may learn to pick ourselves up once again. Women and men, soldiers and outlaws,
There we go.
fools and corpses.
Alright.
All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Do 1 more. We will also actually get
Stars are
one
right,
of the Shambler
and the manor
trinkets
sits at
at the end of
epicenter
DD1,
cosmic unrest.
so
Cultists
we might be
rally
lucky
to
and
their twisted idols, and
get the
great
ancestors
gongs
candle here.
sound
maybe.
in anticipation of the coming
Would be really
sacrifices.
nice.
Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
Alright.
Ignorance of your
Reynold,
enemy
you did good.
and of yourself will invariably lead to defeat. You answered the letter. Now,
Alright, I
like
guess.
me,
Just roll with
you
whatever.
are a part of this place.
Let's actually make sure everybody got the right abilities. Alright, make sure everybody got trinkets. Okay, we don't bring this. Just do it this way. Oh. So since these heroes will only go to the farmstead, we need to use, there we go, the Scaly Warp again to bring them here. No torches, so let's bring the holy water, all the herbs. Alright, we're good to go.
Once again, the stars are right, and the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation.
So for the last time,
sacrifices.
we hear this dialogue.
Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the
Finally.
rhythm of a beating heart.
Alright,
The blood of
snuff the torch, and there we go.
Downward along these titan spires. The creature fattens itself on your failures.
Hey, wiggling cultists. These guys are actually the only ones in here that cannot attack us. They don't have any attack moves. But don't be fooled. They can still be annoying. Because they can guard
Push on to the task's end.
their allies and heal them, which can really be annoying as well. Okay, that's actually a pretty nice start already here. Immediately getting crit by this guy. I want to make sure we can heal him nice. That was actually pretty good.
Their formation is broken.
Well, yeah, that's what you can expect here. You get very high damage attacks, usually coupled with bleeds, high damage bleeds as well. Yeah, not too great. Still want to set up riposte. Nice dodge. I guess we just heal against the bleed right now. Let's make sure we kill at least one of those. Oh god, the crit heals. Nice dodges. Oh, the Hellion does not disappoint you. Could have gotten for the stun, I guess. Should be fine. Nice. Also, you will not find any. You will not find any loot here, except for the final boss kill. We want to kill the brawlers first, since we don't really care too much about the stress damage that the witches apply in the back. Physical damage is now much more dangerous than the stress damage. So, one off fully. Come on. Nice.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
But yeah, we should be fine. Anyways, hopefully. Not trying to jinx it here. Get right.
emerges as the enemy crumbles.
Take another heal here. Yeah, that's only 6 more damage. Oh, there's the first resolve check. Okay, we need to reroll that. So since we're going torchless, we basically cannot really afford to have anybody afflicted, since we're risking them dying to a heart attack later on, especially this early in the dungeon.
And great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
Yeah, this is actually like the interesting part of the run, or like more interesting part of the run, I guess. Okay, another option. Yeah, sadly we now have to listen to the dialogue again.
Right. And the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest.
That's the way it is. And hey, Daragos.
Rally to their twisted idols.
Thanks for showing up
Great
anyway.
gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices.
Okay.
Far below, life-laden shadows.
Come on, Dismiss 2, I know you can do it.
Rhythm of a beating heart.
I mean, at least they got actually a 25% chance for Virginal. Right.
And the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols.
Hopefully we don't have to do this like 10 minutes now, which has happened to me in runs.
Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
Yeah, bless RNG, exactly. Nope. Still no virtue.
Once again, the stars are right, and the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
It's rigged for sure. You just edit the file already. Ah, there we go. Easy. Focused as well, sweet. More accuracy is always nice. So, shuffle him.
Slowly.
Well, I guess.
This is how life is taken.
Okay, we're good on food.
The blood of the fallen flows.
So after the next fight, we will actually use our camp.
The creature patterns itself on your failures.
To get some sweet camping buffs for the rest of the dungeon. So we have a triple cultist fight here. Let's hope this goes well. Nice. Good start. Okay.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy
I'll take it.
them all.
Finger. Okay. No crit at least, and no bleed. That's why it's sweet. Finger again. And he resisted again. Ah, dismiss. Oh, not dismiss. More few, I guess. Oh no.
Their formation is broken. Maintain
Maybe we can stun him. Yeah, we can. Sweet. That was actually probably preventing more damage than healing this one.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Yeah, we'll definitely take the healing. Like, yeah. fine.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Nice. It's rebuffing your boys, exactly.
A spark without
I
kindling
guess.
is a goal without hope.
Yes.
As the light gains
Let's go.
purchase,
It's not the
spirits are
torch
lifted
again.
and purpose is made clear.
Nice. Let's go.
Powerful blow.
Try and kill the priest again first. Self check. Oh. Since we haven't seen the screen
Once again, the
in this
stars
run
are right.
a couple times
And
already,
the manor is at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
Alright, Mr. Highwayman, please get a virgin already. Yeah, easy. Focused as well, nice. That's actually really good.
In the eye of the storm,
This focused will give them more accuracy as well.
as the fiend falls,
Nice.
a faint hope blossoms.
Sweet. We probably want to get rid of the bleed.
Continue the onslaught.
Yeah, we got enough bandages.
Destroy them all.
Let's do that. Sure.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Nice.
Decimated.
Alright. 2 more fights.
The blood of the fallen flows
And we're actually
ever
done
onward along
with this
these
one as
titan
well.
spires. The creature fattens itself on your failures.
Oh yeah. The hunger check. We might use it. Yeah, I guess we use holy water just in case. Okay, so we want to kill this guy first, since he can stun, and that's usually much worse than getting some damage in. Also, the cultist in the back will usually protect the cultist priest here, so we might just go for a stun. Nice.
The darkness
Okay,
is
yeah.
much worse than
There comes the guard.
and boogeymen.
Please hell in, kill him.
Their
That's
formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
more buffs. 2 up.
Annihilated.
Alright. It's fine. Another one. Paranoid. Hold the finger. Obviously critting, yeah. But he resisted the bleed at least, so that's really good. We just healed her.
Sedated.
And kill him. So we can now shuffle her back and,
Press disadvantage.
well,
Give them
or
no
not.
quarter.
But we still got food to heal this guy, so.
Be wary.
Or
tide precipitates a dizzying fall.
Alright, one more. There we go. Going for the priest first again. It's usually the right idea. Okay, so the boss fight in this dungeon is basically the Shambler again, which we saw earlier in the run. But the twist here is that he doesn't has like tentacles helping him. He has a cultist priest in the back, which we will ignore, since as soon as the priest is dead, the Shambler can summon basically any other Darkest Dungeon monster, also ones that can guard him, so we usually don't want that to happen, so we just ignore the priest and... oh, don't die please.
Obliterated.
Oh, it's fine. So we ignore the priest and just
Remind yourself that
whack
overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I will also switch this out here. Just so we can stack bleed on the boss. Go. Set up the post first. Then stack up the bleed. We cannot stun him. How foolish of me. Nice. Yeah, I will shuffle us around as well, like the Shambler does. That's fine. Okay, it's fine. Usually this boss is not too hard. Bleed is always good.
Masterfully executed.
Shoot him. Finger. Nice. Resist the bleed. Nice. Okay, the Vestal is in the back again, which is pretty good. That's fine as well. So yeah, he's almost dead. Correction, he is dead.
The greater the glory.
Oh my god, the crits are real. Okay, nice. And we got the candle. Oh my god. Lucky, lucky. Okay, so...
You have merely glimpsed the edge of the abyss,
get rid of my
but it is enough to trigger the cycle of revelation.
Get rid of
Now,
my runs.
You will begin to see things as they truly
And now it's time for which level 1 character dies first. Well, not first, which one dies. Will it be Reynold or will it be the Plague Doctor?
The thing has no name, or it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its wordless will are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings are as repulsive
will
as
die.
they are robust.
Yeah, probably
Twisted
Reynold is
half-human
stealing
monstrosities
his way
stalk the flesh-ridden
out of
hall,
this again.
protecting their gestating god.
Let's see. So what I'm actually doing here is using a trick to duplicate. See, Reynolds survived. To duplicate one of the trinkets we actually need for DE2. So we now got 4 of them.
A fitting end to my folly.
Oh, actually, the torch is
the
candle is not useful at all. I just noticed. So we can now have a talisman equipped on all the heroes. Oh, actually, he could now equip those. And yeah, we for sure take this. Alright, so it's time again for DD2. All food, bandages, herbs, since we have no torches. Yeah, we're fine.
The thing has no name, for it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word, this will, are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are robust. Twisted, half-human monstrosities stalk the flesh-ridden halls, protecting their gestating god.
Yeah. I'll just shut up for these dialogues.
Madness made flesh. It crawls steadily upward from the
Okay, so the feature of this of Darkest Dungeon 2 is there are mini-boss-like enemies that have like a special ability that deals a lot of damage and stress damage. Except for when the heroes have these talismans of the flame equipped. Oh, what am I even doing here? Okay, we'll start again and try and get rid of this guy first. So that's why we sought to have a fourth one, so every hero can equip one. Oh, shame.
confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Let's actually start to get rid of him. Hopefully not have my armament die here.
Eradicated.
I actually need to change the abilities back. Alien. So yeah, that's why DD2 is actually pretty scary, since physical damage again is pretty high. And since our Vestal also only has like one regular trinket equipped, healing is down quite a bit.
Give them no quarter.
So we basically hope to not get too screwed here. Oh, shame.
How quickly the tide turns.
Instant karma. I mean, at least he's not on death's door yet.
Continue the onslaught.
Which is good.
Destroy them all.
Okay, so this was actually a pretty bad outcome in the end, but what can you do? We are on pitch black light after all. So there's one more fight coming up here before the first mini-boss fight. Yeah, protecting the priest as always. So we might try and heal up as much as possible here. Activate riposte. Yeah, the finger. Okay, at least not like crit. Oh god, really? God damn it.
As the fiend falls,
So that's why you usually want to kill the guy who can stun first, because you don't want this situation to happen. If you can avoid it.
as life
Yeah,
ebbs,
there comes the result check.
vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Alright.
The thing has no name, for it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word, this will, are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings
Okay, yeah,
are
so
as
having
repulsive as they are
a hero on
robust.
death's door is
Twisted, half-human
pretty bad there.
monstrosities stalk the
which means we
flesh-ridden
might
halls,
need to use our
protecting their
first camping
god.
camp after this fight. But yeah, I guess
Becoming unwound.
that's the way it is. Sometimes DD2 can be scary.
The thing has no name.
Also, what I will probably do in the next fight, which is the
Those
first
who would submit to
boss
its
fight here,
word, this will are
is
rewarded in a
to
fashion.
reset the
The
AI's
creature's
attack patterns.
blessings are as repulsive
So
as they are robust.
the Templars, which we will
Twisted
be fighting,
half-human
have
monstrosities
2
stalk the
actions each
flesh-ridden
turn,
halls,
and their first action
protecting
will
their
always be
gestating god.
Revelation, which is the attack our trinkets we brought will negate.
As life ebbs,
But then they got, for the second attack, a set of pretty nasty moves.
the thing has no name.
When you quit to the menu and come back to the game after they use their first revelation, the AI will actually reset and use revelation again.
The creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are.
I hope I don't need to reroll here too much.
Human monstrosities stalk the
For the next
flesh-ridden
fight,
halls,
we will use this to
protecting their gestating
try and keep
god.
damage on the group low. Come on, Dismas 2. I know you can do it.
The thing has no name, for it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word, this will, are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are robust. Twisted half-human monstrosities stalk the flesh-ridden halls, protecting their gestating god. Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss.
There we go. Focused. Sweet. So, yeah. Please healing. Thank you.
Obliterated.
Guard. So, let's do this. Try and get a heal off as well. Okay.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Okay. I want to use firewood now. Probably not.
Madness made flesh.
I think I'll
It crawls steadily upward from the
after
pit,
this fight,
supported
since we
by
can
the lattice of cyclopean pillars.
choose it quite easily. Okay, double Templars. Let's go. Okay, first revelation. This guy will do this revelation.
A time to perform beyond
We'll roll the
one's
sets.
limits.
Oh. Actually, never mind. Let's just do that right now.
The thing has no name, for it
Which is a little
needs
bit
no
silly,
language.
but I guess it happens.
Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word, this will, are rewarded in a fashion.
Usually I probably
Creature's
would not
blessings
do that
are
right
as
now,
repulsive
but
as they
since
are robust. Twisted
health is so
half-human
low,
monstrosities
I don't want to
stalk the
take like
flesh-ridden
25
halls,
damage on
protecting
both
their
Ironmen there.
gestating god.
I mean, sure, we could. Okay, we cannot reset this. Okay. We dodged, at least. That's good. Let's heal. Okay, so we will do it next turn, probably. Yeah, body slam. Ouch.
Dizzying blow to
I was gonna say,
body
body
and
slam isn't too bad usually. Cough, cough. Alright, she goes first, that's good. Okay, Revelation 1. Let's open boots. No boots. Revelation 2. Nice. So we now do this, and then we will start.
thing
This
has no
should, in
name,
theory, work.
for it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word this will
Play with
are
way more
rewarded
confidence than
in a
I did.
fashion.
Well, yeah, I have
Creatures'
run this so many
blessings
times.
are as repulsive as they are robust. Twisted
I try to be
half-human
confident.
monstrosities stalk the flesh-ridden halls, protecting their gestating god.
And there we go, revelations again. So this time it actually worked. Revelations again. Oh, nope. Thank you. Interesting speed rolls.
The thing has no name, for it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word this will
You
are
rewrote
rewarded
everything,
in a
yeah.
fashion. The creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are robust. Twisted
I'm usually more
half-human
confident, like in the other fights,
monstrosities
where you
stalk
only
the
have
flesh-ridden
to deal
halls,
with one Templar.
protecting their gestating god.
But two, also with, we went in with like very low HP, so that's basically why. Just a shuffle. Yeah. Self-check.
The thing has no name, for it needs no language.
Yeah, overconfidence
Nevertheless,
is a slow
those who
and
would submit to
insidious
its
killer.
word this will
Sometimes.
are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are robust. Twisted
So yeah, I'm playing super safe here.
stalk the flesh-ridden halls, protecting
I mean, I
their
can easily
gestating
get
god.
replacements for these heroes if they die, but I'd like to go in one swoop. Oh, nice, powerful, sweet.
Anger is power. Unleash it.
Nice Coutinho. I guess. Let's try and actually kill somebody. Nice.
A time to perform beyond.
Yeah. I'm not going to
The thing has no
this
name,
one happening.
for it needs no language. Nevertheless,
Overconfidence, yeah.
word this will are rewarded in a
The
fashion.
meme. And hate the champ.
Creature's blessings are as repulsive as they are robust. Twisted
So you're actually coming
half-human
right at the
monstrosities
scary part of
stalk
the run, and the most
flesh-ridden
interesting
halls,
part probably.
protecting their gestating god.
Okay, revelations again, let's go. Nice. And finally, one died. Okay, so we should be good here.
Inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Hopefully. Could get Doomsday here. Yeah, we don't want Torment really. Let's reroll once
The thing
more.
has no name, for it needs no language. Nevertheless, those who would submit to its word this will are rewarded in a fashion. The creature's blessings
So yeah,
are
I actually want to go out
repulsive
of
as
this
they are
fight with
robust.
everybody not
Twisted
almost dead.
half-human monstrosities stalk the flesh-ridden
But we
halls,
should be good now.
protecting their gestating god.
One more revelation. There we go. So we can now actually heal.
Their curse
champion falls.
Activate the quest mission item. And let's
Madness
head back.
made flesh. It crawls steadily upward from the pit, supported by the lattice of cyclopean pillars.
So yeah, next we're going to go up, where we have again 2 fights on the way and then the boss fight. And to the left as well. So we got 1/3 of the dungeon done basically. And I think actually like the fights in between boss fights are usually much more dangerous than the boss fights themselves. I will camp after this fight. Double cultists, double priests. Luckily the AI doesn't seem to know how to guard 2 targets. So it should be good killing at least one of them here. I guess we have another resolve check. Oh, nice. Easy stalwart. Go.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Slide him up. Really wanna
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
yeah. Okay, that flash is usually not too bad, damage wise. Now you guard. Sure. Go for it.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Okay.
This expedition at least promises
So we'll
success.
camp here. Just use 4 food since everything seems good. Take the buffs. And let's leave.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Snuff the torch. Don't forget to snuff the torch. Easy, yeah. Alright, there's one more battle here. So we'll try and kill one of those first. Because this guy can guard as well, which is very annoying. Try and stun this guy. Nice.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place.
I only care to kill this one.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I still need to. Still forgot to switch up the skills. Gas
Grievous injury.
But nice riposte grid.
Fear.
And he's almost at his result check as well.
Press this advantage.
It's fine.
Give them no quarter. Precision and power. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
You have some food. Oh, and your resolve checked, I guess. Easy.
A
I hope to hit like these virtues on DD3 as well, that easy. Okay, so in this one we want to make sure to get rid of the flesh hounds first, as they can also really screw us over with moving and stunning and marking the party. So I'd like to get rid of them ASAP. Let's see what he uses. Probably Doomsday after this. Nice. Doomsday. Oh, okay. We'll take it. Okay. Just take it. Wow. Doomsday. Nice riposts. It sets up a light hook. We'll just purge that away. Well, I guess.
A victory.
Just kill
Perhaps the turning point.
It's 2 out of 3. So one more, and we also have like still a firewood left to camp, so it should be good here. Let's go to the left, please. There should be a hunger check here. There we go. Yeah, the 35 riposte crit was actually pretty nuts. So we'll probably use the last firewood after the next fight. So there's again 2 more fights here on the way to the last mini boss. That was a little bit early. Our cultist priest again. Yeah, so please no big fingers here. Nice.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Obviously. I guess we do the group here. Nice critical on myself.
Destroyed.
Let's make sure this guy dies. Sweet. Okay, that wasn't too bad. We can actually postpone
Remind
the
yourself
camping.
that overconfidence is a slow and insidious
One more
killer.
fight. Just because I want to heal, basically. Get as much heal as possible out of the food. Since stress is not really an issue. Or not at all. Same as before, we go for this one first.
Powerful blow.
Nice. Oh.
Well struck.
Well struck indeed. Can't argue with that. Also, nice guard here, AI.
Exposed to a killing blow.
And the bleed. Make sure this one dies. Let's take you off.
decimated.
Nice. Oh, I was like, why is she passing a turn? I think because she got, yeah, imposter syndrome, which will sometimes make them pass the turn. Okay, we'll do one more turn, and hopefully get another heal off. Yeah. Let's do it like this. There we go. So now can heal everybody.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
Buffs. We might just. Do we care? We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Blazing star is born. Okay, this has two things. It can also leave pretty nasty light stacks. Also marks, so we want to kill these as well.
A singular
One
strike.
off. Nice. Yes. Should slip the Vestal finishing off.
Obliterated.
There we go.
Soothe.
Doesn't really matter what he does now. Yeah. This line does nothing. Let's go.
Inspiration
Nice.
and improvement.
Wow, 20 crit from the Vestal. That's rare. For sure. Oh my god. Okay, that was a really quick one.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered.
And done with DD2. Nice. Okay, nothing bad happened.
The maniacal cultists are quelled for a time, but there can be no celebration. Your progress is measured only in progressive realization and dawning horror. You are in the shadow of the end.
Could actually go for this. Put it on him. Also, okay, well, we can change that in the dungeon on the fly. Okay, let's don't waste any more time. And oh my god, please. There we go. Anti-venoms, herbs, one stack of bandages should be fine, hopefully. Foods. Alright, there we go.
The interminable stone holes are but an antechamber.
DD3 made me scared.
Vast
Stop
beyond
running
measure,
this dungeon.
and must
Wow.
be battled from within. Step over the
It is
threshold,
the most scary
and
one.
the terrible
I agree.
truth worm its way into your mind.
Let's see how this goes.
The gateless gate. A maddening aperture to realms beyond human understanding.
Okay, this dungeon is basically meant as a very big, very long, exhausting one. So the idea is you basically have to go to the middle of the dungeon, which is lay out like a big grid. And you will fight some very nasty enemies, like which comes up like in the next battle. You will see them soon. And one of them has the ability to teleport your party, which will move your whole party immediately out of the fight to one of the most outer rooms of the dungeon layout. So yeah, what usually happens in casual playthroughs is that people get teleported back, run again. You know, it's meant to be a big grind. This one. Wow, Hellion can't hit anything. But yeah, we try to prevent the teleport from happening, of course. So let's hope we don't actually get teleported.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I'll explain it like when we get to those enemies, just
Seize
in a
this
second here.
momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Perfect place for grape shit, just say. Kinda. Alright, so what we actually want to do as well is switch this over. We'll also camp here
Gathered close in
because
tenuous
we
firelight
actually
and uneasy
want
companionship.
these skills on our highwayman.
In radiance, may we find victory.
Alright. Okay. So we need to destroy the mammoth cysts, but the white cell stalk in the back. These are the guys that can teleport us. So what we usually want to do is like kill them immediately. But the big mammoth cysts will respawn them as well. So, ouch. So we hit him here. That's good. Oh god, more digestion. Oh my god. This is already really bad. Immediately.
Hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
Shut up. Okay, let's hope. Well, he will now summon a new one first before actually attacking. Got the bleed going. And also this guy cannot use teleport on his first turn. So let's hope he doesn't use digestion again. Okay, that's fine. So like next turn is his first turn, so he will not use teleport. But we still want to make sure he dies. So, nice. So this guy will now summon a new one, which gives us time to set up riposte as well. Wow, nice miss. That's fine. Do a group heal anyways. And since they have pretty high speed, their chance of actually going first and using teleport on their second turn is pretty high. Okay. Let's try and get the bleed going again. That's actually also pretty nice. Yeah, digestion is really the ability here that we are afraid of. Okay, make sure this guy dies.
Compassion is a rarity.
It's looking alright now. Let's bleed him again, please. Nice, crit here. Sweet. We want to purge this debuff as well this turn. Yeah. They can heal as well themselves, but that's fine. I don't care too much about the healing. Since it's a grindy fight anyway.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Digestion. Always the scary move. Let's keep the bleed up.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Nice. Sweet, sweet. So I will not be bold and kill this one now immediately. I will definitely kill this guy in the back first. Still, I made this error too many times in my runs. So yeah, it's a shame. I could have killed him as well. That's okay. He will die anyways on his next turn. On this turn. Yeah. So we can now safely kill this guy. Oh. Well, I guess it's okay.
Precision and power.
Okay. So we have one more of those fights coming up.
Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Grievous injury. Palpable fear.
Palpable fear. Good. Oh, and she's passing her turn. Sure. Wow. All the dodges in this world. Okay, so I guess I should have cleared the imposter syndrome, but we should be fine. Wow. Nice crit there. Let's just kill him up. Okay, so we only have like 2 more fights to go. One more single Templar and then another assist. So we will definitely camp here.
Circle in the
Heal
dark.
up.
The battle may yet be won.
Let's just do this. We will come back after the Templar fight and get the right buffs
Spirits are lifted and purpose is made
for the
clear.
assist fight. Also, luckily, this Templar cannot use Revelation, so he quote-unquote only uses the other abilities. We could get for a stun.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the
Dodges.
most tenebrous corners of this place.
This guy, please. Almost.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic
So quickly, because like in the next room is the last fight, we quickly reverse here. And camp again, get everybody healed to full, and get the right buffs we want. Since we basically want our highwaymen to be as accurate as possible, we use this buff which gives them accuracy for their ranged attacks. So that's the idea. So that's basically that the highwayman will basically almost always hit the, or can almost always hit the white cell stock. So we make sure this one dies for sure. All right. Okay, so this is literally the most important fight in the whole run. Let's hope we don't get screwed here too bad. There's no double digestion here. Yes. I actually hope to kill it before this the Nemesis can take a turn. Nice. So we will use summon it again as one of his moves. And not, so there's no possibility of double digestion.
The ground quakes.
Okay, make sure we get the bleed going. Thanks for the good luck scores. That's not too bad. We should want to set up the. Wow. Okay, so this could have been a mistake here. Okay. All good. Saved. Okay, that's fine. Don't care about the bulging gaze too much. Oh, we healed himself, interesting. Okay, I had to go for this. Nice. Oh, she passes her turn again. Sweet. Please heal yourself. Okay, let's get the bleed going again. Nice. Nice. Okay, I will usually try and set up riposte as well in these fights. But only if I really get a clean chance to do it. Shame that you missed. So I'd rather be on the safe side here and not have the cost set up. Okay, double digestion, it's fine. It's also fine. Okay, so now the highwayman cannot miss, basically. That's what I'm banking on here. Nice. Also, this guy can now not use summon since he used something else as his first move. He can only use summon on the first action each turn. So we now can actually set up riposte here. Interesting. She passes her turn, that's not good. All the dodges. Let's set riposte up, just in case. Okay, that's totally fine. No debuff as well. Now make sure we go in. Yeah. Crit heal. Yeah. Fine. Bleed going. More heals. More crit heals even. Nice. Definitely try and go for the bleed here again. Oh, immune resisting again. Oh my god. The Death's Door. Oh, it healed itself. Interesting. Weird.
And now the true test.
No, the true test.
Or expire.
I guess which is good heal. Can we not believe him finally? Yes, we can. He might kill himself here.
Perched at the very
Basically it
precipice
did.
of oblivion.
But the vessel can die here as well. Nice, she doesn't.
Champion falls.
And sweet, so we're
Success
done.
so clearly in view. Or is it merely
Alright,
a trick
that was
of
pretty
the
good.
light?
Okay, so we only have to...
At
We actually
last,
have
the
to
twisted
purge.
heart of the world is laid bare.
Yeah, we actually
For
have to
sword,
purge
or
diseases.
supplication.
So the only shame here is now that we... since we don't... since we cannot retreat from the last one, we basically have to sacrifice 2 people here now. By just giving them a heart attack. So while we're moving back and forth here. Yeah, be paranoid. So we actually kill off Reynolds. He deserves it. Yeah, have a heart attack. There we go.
A setback, but not the end of things. Do not consider my continued commentary disingenuous. Each victory out here in the world brings you closer to the heart of things once more.
So we kill off Dismas as well? Sure. Let's kill off Dismas as well. I actually should have brought really a level 0 one, but whatever. For the memes, I guess. Yeah. I don't care. Heart attack. And that's good.
disassemble. Evil is timeless, after all.
Alright.
Do not consider my continued commentary
We're going to go
disingenuous.
for the last one.
Each victory out here in the world brings you closer to the heart of things once more.
I can actually use this now. Alright. Progress. Just there we go. Yeah, that's all we need. Okay, so actually on the way there would be a bunch of nice dialogue by this guy, but nope, we're just skipping it. Make it look easy. Well, we will see about that. We actually want some skills changed around. Before I forget it. One last final battle here. No piano, nobody died. I'm sorry to disappoint. Alright, let's go.
You still foolishly consider yourself an entity separate from the whole. I know better. And I will show you.
Guess we start with tracking shot, because why not? Maybe we can still kill it. Oh, okay, so the last boss is 4 phases. In phase 1 we're basically killing. We cannot damage the ancestor himself directly, we have to kill his reflections. And the perfect reflections will not do anything when we kill them, but when the ancestor starts to summon them, they have a chance to be summoned as imperfect reflections. And when we kill the imperfect ones, he will take 1 damage for each imperfect one killed. So we're basically hoping to get imperfect ones spawned as quick as possible. But we are out of luck here. So yeah, this phase can sadly drag on a little bit. Wow. Yeah, the RNG phase, exactly. Yep. I guess we can set up riposte, even though it's usually not super worth it. And no imperfect ones either. Thanks, game. So we're probably not going under 3 hours here, which is a shame, but it's okay. Oh wow, he actually heals. Okay, this gives us the potential chance to kill them both. Let's see what we can do here. Almost, I guess. And still, oh my god, that's really bad luck. At his face. Okay, at least this dies as well next turn. Oh. Yeah, there is no such thing as imperfect ones, right? No, you don't have at least one every time, but it averages out to usually getting one every time. Or often at least. So can we now please get one? Really? Really? Oh my god. What the fuck? Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess somewhere along the way, the bad RNG had to happen, right? And I mean, to be fair, it's fine that it's now. It's better than losing somebody early in the run. This phase is not scary, it's just dragging on. Essentially. Hey, there we go. Just make sure we kill this guy as well. Only took, what, like 5 minutes to get one? Awesome turn. I mean, I guess this guy's dead anyway. Out of 5. Another one. Okay. Good job, ancestor. Wow. There we go. Now the crits start rolling. 2 out of 5. Please make at least one. Nice. Let's kill that. Wow. Three out of 5. Let's go. Oh, self-check. Good thing is here that since this dungeon doesn't have an entry dialogue, We don't have to listen to like 30 seconds of dialogue again. Also, technically getting an affliction here is not super bad, but you know, I still don't want to risk it. Come on. 3 dots of doom. Yeah. Exactly. Meh. I always hate this phase of the boss fight. It's just so annoying. Yeah, that's RNG. Exactly. Oh, come on. I know you can do it. There we go. Courageous. Okay. Oh, 2 more! Okay, nice. So we're actually now done with this phase as soon as we kill them both. Sweet. Not too shabby. Alright, phase 2.
The flesh is fluid.
So
It can be
basically
changed
now
and
we want the ancestor to come to the front, which he will do eventually. And then we're basically going to, there we go, nice. We're going to stack the bleed as high up as we can. Yeah, we'll just don't kill him. Since from now on the bleed stacks or damage over time stacks that are on the boss will carry over to the next phase and from the next to the last one as well. And so we want to stack dots as high as possible, or as high as we can, since it will make the next phase quicker. I mean, a 20 damage dot here is actually pretty nice already. Shame we cannot hit him with the Highwayman Brute there. But I guess we just shoot him. Maybe the Hellion. That's an Hellion. Sweet. Just you. And phase 3.
The flesh is immortal. It is undying.
Shh.
Pray it does not take too hideous a form.
Okay, so yeah, in this phase, the boss basically can only blight us, which we don't really care about. We care about stacking the bleed up again. Keep stacking it. Ideally, we have like a 30 damage or more bleed stack at the end of this. Yeah, sure, you can pass. And the boss will switch over to the last phase if either his HP reach 0 or 3 turns pass, I think. Yeah, we should be good here. Nice. There's the 32 damage stack here. Nice.
Behold the heart of the
Alright, and here comes
progenitor of life, father and mother.
one of the big features of this boss actually.
Omega, our creator.
Keep stacking bleed, and the boss will now, spoilers, force us to kill one of our heroes. So, goodbye Vestal. That's nice knowing you. Time is, by the way, coming up when the boss dies on the last hit on the boss, or maybe it dies from the bleed stacks, obviously. So yeah, get ready for time. We'll have to kill somebody else here as well. Goodbye, not business. Oh, he got stunned. Wow. I mean, I guess. That's fine. Yeah, and time. GG.
Victory. A hollow and ridiculous notion.
Nice.
All this thing made from it.
So yeah, actually,
Be returned to
not too bad.
time.
303.
Great family of man. A
Yeah.
profusion of errant flesh.
I
Multiplying,
guess
swarming,
that's it from my end.
living, dying,
So now what?
until the stars align.
Spoilers.
Their
I'll let the cutscene play for you guys.
What sleeps
Is
roused once more.
Yeah, shoutouts go definitely to the whole
This fragile shell
DD
of earth
speedrunning community,
and bring our inescapable end.
and my own stream community as well, of course.
Solace in a manner
You guys are awesome.
lineage.
Also, yeah, shoutouts to Rogue HQ for putting up such a nice
Haunted for
marathon
sickening
for the second time as well, third time.
space and time.
I'll definitely be back for more as well. So yeah, thanks for donating
To our family.
and meeting my donation incentive as well. And yeah, there we go. That's it from me. Guess we can cut over to intermission. Thanks.